Heidi stood there along the road with her bags in her hands and her phone on the other hand. She was gazing blankly and confusedly. Where would I go from here? She mused. My husband had already told me never to come back since I had the guts to leave after all his pleadings. Oh, have shut my doors by myself. What has adultery done to me like this? Oh, I am finished. It happened a long time ago in Zulu Kingdom, in the western part of Nigeria, where adultery was common among the people. Though churches preached against such acts, a handful of women in the kingdom who sought pleasures and luxurious lifestyle that their husbands were not capable to vote the bills still practiced it. One beautiful lady named Heidi was involved in an extramarital affair with a man called Ekpe. Heidi was married to the village town crier, Chief Ekeke, while Ekpe had a wife and 3 children. One day, they decided to meet in their usual spots for their weekend sit-outs. I love you so much and I am willing to do anything for you. My only pain is that you are still with your husband, Ekpe told Heidi. I know you love me, and of course, you know that I really love you too. But you are a married man, and I am a married woman too. If I decide to leave my husband, where am I going to stay? Heidi asked Ekpe. Ekpe looked at her in surprise and then said to her, So, you don't believe I can take care of you? You don't believe that the love I have for you can make me do anything for you? Heidi thought about the whole thing. Leaving her husband wasn't part of the plans. She only wanted to maintain the secret affairs she was having with her lover so she could use him as an additional source of income to cater for her exorbitant lifestyle. But to ask her to leave her marriage of about 3 years, she wasn't seeing the possibility. Her husband was a good man. He tried his best to supply her with everything she needed and wanted, but it wasn't enough for her. She had always desired to live a life of luxury, and seeing a man that seemed to supply her with all the things she needed for that kind of life, she fell in love with him. At first, it was meant to be an escape route to get the things she wanted. But gradually, she discovered she was beginning to fall for him and she couldn't resist it. Thereafter day, the man kept telling her that he could spoil her the way he wanted, but he wouldn't do so because she was still in her husband's house. The moment you leave that place, you will see the real me. I will shower you with gift and abundance, Ekpe always told her. And one day, Heidi took the decision to really leave her husband and the marriage. Her husband begged. He tried to figure out what he did wrong. All the pleas turned on deaf ears. Heidi packed all her belongings and walked away from a 3-year-old marriage. Within her, she wanted to stay with the man that truly loves and cares for her. But the frivolities of the promises Ekpe always told her and the fake fantasies that glued the love together wouldn't let her think straight. At the end of the day, she left amidst the beggings and pleadings from her husband and relatives. Then, the moment she left the house, she put a call through to Ekpe to break the news to him. So, now that I have left my husband, what is the next plan? I will be coming over to your house, right? She asked. My house? No. How can you think of that? My wife is here with my 3 kids. I can't even think of housing another woman under this roof, he said. So what do you want me to do now? I have already left my husband. You need to find somewhere for me, a place we can share together, she told Ekpe. Madam, I don't know what you are talking about. Did I tell you to pack out? I only told you to leave him. In fact, my wife got to know about us and she was so mad at me. I already promised her that I will never see you again. If you know what is good for you, you better go back to your husband. No matter how good you are, I can never trade my life, my wife, my family, my children for you. Please, don't call my line again, he warned as he ended the call. Heidi stood there along the road with her bags in her hands and her phone on the other hand. She was gazing blankly and confusedly. Where would I go from here? She mused. My husband had already told me never to come back since I had the mind, the guts, and everything to leave after all the pleadings. Oh, I've shut my door by myself. What has adultery do to me like this? And for the first time, the reality of her life dawned on her. Indeed, all that glitters is not gold. It always looks beautiful on the other side until you come closer. The promises of adultery can never be compared to the pains of promiscuity. Your home is a potential heaven. Don't allow your decisions to turn it into a living hell. The tale of ID is a recurrent topic used by the village women to advise young married couples to remain faithful and committed to their marriage. ID was never returned to the husband and never to her parents because the society would not condone such acts, and Ekpe never took her as a second wife. She remains stranded till this day.